Good morning, everybody. What what a boring game yesterday, not gonna lie. Well, so it's our first game of the season. Really didn't we didn't I didn't expect too much because the first game, but it was boring. I mean, you see at least you see like different things compared to like Vicente, but still like um so I like that we played wider, we spread the width of the field more and all of that. We started off really good, to be honest, for the first like 30 minutes. We're getting chances, but then Mazlatan adjusted. They started to play more compact because they realized we were crossing a lot and we are trying to play from wide to the middle a lot. And after that, the game just we just lost the game basically. Um, and yeah, well, basically it's just the first game of the season, so it doesn't make sense to overreact about it. But yeah, it was a very uneventful game. But um, besides just everyone looking like still in preseason, um, there are some like improvements at least. Like for one, Bogus is starting to show his qualities more now with more freedom playing as like a as one of the two tens. He has more freedom to either play wide or go into the middle, and you could see like his creative talent showing more right there. The other one would be Parabella, very very good signing. We could already see like you could see as that like something different. He's so technical on the ball. He's always composed, always under control. I would like more if they would try to shoot more from outside whenever we play against those block teams to open up the defense. But those two look good. Sepulveda didn't had a bad game, but didn't have a good game either. He was just quiet. He had his chance, and he missed it. But besides that, the thing with Sepulveda is that he always participates good in the build up, so you can't really like knock on him for that because he always contributes one way or another. So um, you know, he helps us with that. Faravelli for me had a decent game. He did what he had to do. Faravelli is never doing like anything that special now and then. Yeah, he would score some bangers, but he always just covers the defense and just try to he's just like he's always for me like a 6 out of 10. Then he doesn't do anything extra, but he doesn't not do anything as well. Romero, Romero was really struggling unfortunately today. Um, and it's not his fault. I think they're putting him in the midfield, but I don't know about you guys, but he gives me Montoya vibes. Like I don't know if he's good enough to be a starter, but he's a good energy player to have in a team. He's not the most technical guy, but he has a lot of heart and he hustles a lot. So and he's aggressive. So like I feel like he'll be better suited as a player coming off the bench whenever we need that like change up like what we used to do with Montoya, what Reynoso used to do with Montoya. But my brother also put a good point saying we have to meet the quota for the young players, the minutes for the young players, and it's good. It's a good idea to to play them on games like these against Mazatlan, games that are easier, so we could have a stronger team for tougher games. But that's still no excuse for us tying. To be honest, we should score more. We had a lot of possession, but we didn't create nothing off of it. So let me continue. Omar Campos didn't do too bad. He messes up a lot on defense though. Like he loses his mark a lot, but he's fast, and whenever he pushes the ball up, he does get to the touchline. It's just his crossing is kind of hit and miss. But the next thing too is like all the time he crosses the ball, we never have enough. We gonna have always one forward just in there. Rivero sometimes tries to come in, like as soon as the wing back into the middle, but it's hard because he's on the wing back, so it's hard for him to come from the wing all the way to like the second post to try get headers. And but yeah, like I what he tried to do, what Marcampo tried to do was all right though. Even though I feel like he didn't have like that good of a game, but he did. You see what he was trying to do then, basically. Um, POV, Lira, and Dita. Besides some occasional mistakes they make, they for me they had a like a you know they had a solid game because Mazlatan wasn't really attacking much to be honest. We were just trying to counter attack, and their counter attacks were mainly due because we were trying to play out of the back and we lose the ball. Rivero, of course, Rivero on the right back. First half, he did really good. Second half, and I felt like his legs were gone. Basically, like he couldn't keep up anymore with the intensity of the game. And I loved Rivero a lot, but there are games whereby you could see like his age and his lack of like pace showing. And well, Mir didn't really got tested, so Mir did all right. And well, basically on well for the players that came in, um, so let me try to remember. So Charlie started off bright, and then he just started to give ridiculous passes. But the one thing I did like was that when he got the ball, he would put his head down and he would run with the ball, and that's good because that's a Charlie we need. We need a Charlie that from Monterrey who would run with the ball and push the ball, not be too passive and just try to pass. Um, but yeah, he hopefully in the next game the players are more like acclimated to the system and getting out of that preseason mode and actually try to be more consistent. Rotundi, he was he was all right. Um, you could see. I don't know. I feel like he didn't try to run the wing as much as he usually does. I don't know if it's because of instructions or just because he's just coming back. He doesn't want to risk it or he's not maybe 100% yet. Excuse me, but besides that, I mean, we didn't really play much on his side either. Most of the time, he was actually in the middle when POV was the one who was crossing the ball. So it's not like he wasn't wide most of the game. Who else did they put him? I'm trying to remember. Levy had that one chance, bro, that he missed. But he like I mean he's 18 years old. Gotta be patient with him. Obviously, he has a lot of good qualities. I think he's gonna be like a player for us like in the next year or two. But you know, tough break for him missing that goal right there. That nice. That was like the easiest goal he's gonna probably get in his career. But I mean, like watching the Pumas game before that too with a young kid in goal. They're kids, and then we can't really we could be frustrated, but we can't like bring them down then because at the end of the day they're still learning. And like all of us who play soccer, football, we know how it is whenever you're you're going up another level, and you just have that nerves all the time until you finally get your feet wet. So not gonna knock it against Levy for that. Um, who else did they put in? I'm trying to remember now. Let's see. I have Levy, Rotundi, Charlie. Um, who did they put in for Romero? I'm trying to remember. Who did they put in for Romero? Let me check real quick. I can't remember the game. But the game was late last night for us here in Houston, so like I watched it, but then I was already kind of sleepy, and the game being boring didn't help to be honest. It was Jeremy Marcus. Jeremy Marcus. Well, he didn't really play that much, so like I can't really give an opinion about him to be honest. I didn't see anything from him yet to be like, all right, like he's gonna. I mean, he just came too, so like it's gonna take him a while to fit in. And yeah, that's the only. We only made four changes. We did only made four changes. One, two, three. So we could have made one more. And to be honest, I felt like there were times in the game whereby we were just crossing far too much, and Mazatlan were just packing the paint. We should have we should have done something different. And just give me a second. And yeah, we should have done something different. Like we could have done something different to be honest. But hey, it is what it is. Like it's the first game of the season. I'm hoping the next game you see more improvements. Um, and yeah, like which we still the only there's one thing I wish we've experimented, but it looked like Lacramon's gonna stick to the five in the back. I wish we would try playing more with four, just to see like us having an extra midfielder, because I feel like even with Anselmi playing five, at times it limits us that we just gotta play wide, and then we just gotta cross it in, and it's easy to defend because they just pack the paint. Well, paint no, my bad. They the middle of the field. So maybe if we shoot more from outside, taking more outside shots to open up the defense, that would help. Um, a lot of crosses to the back post when no one was cutting to the back post was happening too. What else? A lot of change of plays that didn't work out. Mier was playing far out of school, which I don't really have a problem with as long as he doesn't screw up back there. Because if he screw up, then we're screwed. But him playing high up does like open the game up for us a little bit, but it only opens the game up from defense to midfield. Our issue is taking the ball from the midfield to the forward. And I feel that has been, we just don't have midfielders who push the ball up consistently to break the press, or to whenever they because Mazlatan were pressing us a lot after a while, like whenever we tried to take the ball out, and that's where they were getting their chances. And if we just had a midfielder who get the ball, drop a shoulder and just run with it the other way, it would have helped. But we didn't have any midfielders who were trying to do that, so we kind of, when they were pressing us, it was working. But besides all of that, I think if I rate the game out of 10, it's probably like a 4 out of 10. Wasn't a good game, but we at least we see what Lacramon is trying to do. If it's gonna work is a different question, but we see like he's trying to do the only thing. And my brother made another good observation. You're gonna see him more too with his opinion eventually. The one thing that I saw and I was like concerned about is that what he mentioned is basically Lacramon is he set up the team like if he's still setting up the Necaxa, like if teams are gonna be attacking us and giving us space to counterattack, and he has to understand now that teams are gonna be dropping back on us and counterattacking us, so he has to like change his tactics basically. But besides that, it was a boring game, but we go from there. So hopefully next game is gonna be a good one. If I can, I'm gonna try to do a watch along for us. I'll see, but we'll talk. We'll see later. We're gonna try to see if we could do like a little pre-game video about potential lineups and a little more in depth about the other team. And yeah, so I'm gonna see you guys later. Peace.